Hi everyone, Michelle Bracco, counselor here, and today's topic is how would you feel if you learned that your partner had experimented with the same sex just once? Would you feel like it's a deal breaker? Well, let's look at all aspects of this. In society, as it stands, most of the time, if a man hears about two women experimenting together, it's not such a bad thing. But if a woman hears that a man experimented with another man, it's a little bit more kind of not as accepted, or it makes people cringe. And in today's society, where everyone is more accepting of the LGBT community, it's kind of a gray area. Everyone knows that when you're young, you tend to experiment. Even in my generation, Generation X, people experimented. College was a big time when people would experiment. When you're an adolescent, you are becoming an adult and you are trying to discover who you are, both physically, emotionally, and sexually. And with this concept, this is where the area of experimentation comes in, and people want to know where they're happiest at. It's a connection, and it's a opportunity to become oneself and the person that they're going to become as an adult. Now, you also have to ask the question, if the person experimented, how long ago was it? How significant was it? And is it something that you fear is going to happen again? It's something that, honestly, if you found this out, it's a conversation that you need to have with your partner. It may be uncomfortable for both sides because, one, your partner is sitting there divulging information about something that they may or may not be proud of, or that they may or may not be comfortable with. And it's going to be uncomfortable for the person talking about it or the person that's receiving the information, because this is your partner. And it may feel as if you feel betrayed, like you didn't know the person. After all this time, you find out something that may or may not be significant to you or might matter to you. When it comes to a deal breaker, what exactly is meant by that? Is it meant that you cut that person off completely? Does it mean that you just end an intimate relationship with them? At the end of the day, people are always constantly discovering who they are. And especially if this is something that happened when your partner was younger, it's not necessarily something, in my opinion, that should be held against somebody. People experiment with all kinds of things, and sexuality is one of them. Now, there are cultures, there's religions, there's morals that people hold tight to. And this is a question of individuality. If you feel that your partner experimenting with the same sex at any time is uncomfortable for you, you have the right to say, I don't feel comfortable with this. But be honest. This is a conversation that can be touchy, but communication is the key. You have to be honest. You have to make your partner feel comfortable in the way that ask them the questions, but don't make them feel as if they're on trial or they were wrong for the experimentation. And at the end of the day, you just have to be honest with each other. And it's okay if you don't feel comfortable. It's okay if you do feel comfortable. And for the person who experimented, it's okay that you did experiment, because that's part of human nature. That's part of growing up. And even if it was done as an adult, what are the reasons behind that? There's a lot of questions that come behind something like that. And in this counselor's opinion, as I said, you just need to communicate with each other and decide what type of deal breaker it is. Is it the kind that you can't speak to the person anymore? Or is it just that you're going to end the intimate relationship? But understand, everybody is human. Everybody experiments in one way, shape, or form. And people should be allowed to live. And whatever you choose to be comfortable within you is fine. Just be sure to take in consideration that other people have that same right. And don't make somebody feel bad or insignificant or wronged for being who they are. Well, that's it for me. Thank you to CB and the Boyz.